It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Well, by the way, you guys, we have now John Solomon calling in with some breaking news.
Breaking news, WABC.
And joining us now is John Solomon, the founder of Just the News, the great investigative journalist. John Solomon, thank you so much for joining us. First, give us the very latest on everything that's happening with the government shutdown, potentially the vote that's hoping to happen at any moment.
Yeah, we're going to see the bill broken into three separate pieces of legislation so that each lawmaker can vote differently on the merits, and Democrats can join on some and not on others. Republicans come on others. So those three bills will take it. First will be a clean CR, is what they call a clean CR. That's a short-term spending bill that just keeps all the spending levels at the levels that they've been for the last year. So no reduction in spending, something that a lot of Americans have been clamoring from. Clean CR, first vote. Second vote will be $100 billion on disaster aid. There may be some amendments to that bill to bring the number down, saying there isn't $100 billion in bills yet, so why don't we put 20 or 30 billion out? If the numbers go up, we'll add to it, but don't allocate it now until we know if we need it. And then the third thing will be a one-year extension, the Farm Bill, a bill that provides assistance to our farmers and keeps them prospering and keeping our food supply growing. Those are the three bills. They'll probably come in quick succession on the House floor. Two or three or all may all pass. We'll see. And then after that, it goes to the Senate, and Chuck Schumer is singing from a different Christmas hymnal. He wants the old bill back. So we'll see whether the Democrats have the courage to shut down the government, because if the House passes these, the Senate will own the shutdown of the government.
You know, how much of the messaging is getting out there, John Solomon, to the point of, it's and we were just talking about it with John too, of like, okay, look, you look at that 1,500 pager, which they keep going back to, the first version, right, which has so many pet projects. How much do you think that messaging, and could they do a better job of getting the message out to the American public to say, look, we're trying to do the right thing by you. You just presented something that makes a lot of sense that they're about to vote on. And if you don't vote on it, guess what? This is what you wanted in the first one. Like, I mean, I think anybody's jaw would drop if they saw what was in that 1,500.
That wish list is absolutely reprehensible. It's DEI, it's COVID research again. It's awful. Everything they want, environmental.
Regulatory authorities that are exactly what liberals want. Yeah, listen, I don't know what went through Mike Johnson's head when that bill was put together, but it is certainly a better scenario.
And why did he accept it before Trump put his foot down?
Yeah, why did he accept that? Why did it even get to the point where it was a vote? Because Trump quickly said, no way. Yeah.
Listen, I think it's a nice guy's finish last scenario. I think Mike Johnson's a nice guy, but speakers are not typically effective when they're nice. They need to be tough, and they need to be principled, and they need to read the American public and what was just said. And Mike Johnson has not been able to even deliver the promises that House Republicans made to get into office in 2023. Not a single spending cut. We are still spending money at the drunken levels of the Biden, Harris, and Pelosi regime. So he hasn't delivered that. And then of all the things to put in the bill, let's give members of Congress who are at 19% popularity and have run up a $26 trillion debt increase over the last 2 decades since their last pay raise. Let's give them another pay raise and reward them. There hasn't been any positive messaging out of the House. It's taken Donald Trump and Elon Musk to yank it back in some way. I think Donald Trump and Elon Musk changed the course of history. But I got to tell you what, there isn't a lot of confidence that Donald Trump has a Congress right now capable of keeping up with him when his big agenda starts passing in January. I think there's going to be some serious discussions of leadership changes over the Christmas break.
Wow. Ed Cox, what do you think in terms of like it's been fascinating because Trump and Musk definitely have had a big impact.
Yeah, they definitely had a big impact, but give credit to Johnson. He adjusted very quickly, and that impact could not be done by him alone. It had to be done by Trump.
You have to be fair to Mike Johnson.
That cleared the way for Johnson to do something that's very creative here. It's getting done.
But hopefully, right?
Give credit to Johnson for that.
John Solomon, you have to give credit to Speaker Johnson. He's dealing with a dissident group, a radical right group in his own caucus. 38 members voted against the second bill, which was a temperate, moderate bill, which they should have voted for. They were only empowering the Democrats. What say you?
Listen, I think there are two sides because you have the other side that won't give up its drunken spending. So the moderate side are the ones who larded up that bill, knowing that that would make the conservative side go, not again. How many times are we going to keep doing this? So it starts with, here's how this goes. Well, let's do a clean CR. Oh, but we need a clean CR with some special aid for farmers. Okay, well, if you're going to help the farmers, you got to help the people in North Carolina. So let's come up with a number that nobody made up, $100 billion. No one even knows where that number came from. And then the Democrats say, well, if you're going to put all that in there, you got to put all our things. And Mike Johnson goes, okay, yes, yes, yes. And before you know it, a clean CR is actually a 60% increase in the current
spending
levels. And they shot
down the broadcasters. They shot down the AM broadcasters.
They did. Right. Something that would be helpful to everyday Americans.
94% of the American people.
It's just amazing, isn't it? There is such a disconnect between the elitists who run Washington and the everyday man and woman trying to get by in their car on the street, pay their gas bills. And by the way, you keep spending money this way, you're actually driving inflationary pressure back up.
Yeah, no, you're right. I got Patterson real quick.
John, I think that you really explained in the last couple of minutes what the real problem with government is. And it's everybody's really in it for themselves. Yeah. Each concession that they make becomes another concession that they have to make. It's like when you don't tell the truth, you have to tell even more lies to cover up the truth.
Cover up the other lies.
And I think that really what's happening is that the public has no trust in these people. And because there's no trust, if there was trust, somebody could say, look, let's just do it to get through here. 6 months later, we'll work it out. And it gets worked out. But that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Listen, right now, there are only two people in Washington that spend money, Democrats and Republicans. They're both spending. And
well said.
Governor, you hit it on the head. We have a generation of politicians that only think about themselves. And it's hard to make a change of a battleship this way until they start thinking about the people that elected them.
Let's just note there's no presidential leadership in this either.
That's true.
Yeah,
and
no,
if they
been
wiped
AWOL,
out,
right.
John, and if they wipe out AM radio, there'll be a new station called WIIFM. What's in it for me?
Very nice. He's always quick.
Hey, look at that.
He's always quick. John Solomon, thank you so much, John.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. We don't talk, guys. I love all the work you do. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We love you, John. Thank you very much.